Hey guys, TSL here, back with a brand new video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys how you can use the touched event to detect when players or anything actually touches a part. Now, I'll show you a few examples of using the touch event. One will be to make a kill part or a part that damages the player, and the other one will be to make like a jump pad type thing. So the first thing you're obviously going to need is a part. Now, what you can do is insert a script into this part, and then let's just set up a few variables. So the first thing we want is a comment for our variables, and we'll say like local players is equal to game cone get service players. And then we also want a debounce variable, which we'll talk about later and use later. But anyways, so we have a debounce, and we need one more thing, which is our part. So our part is equal to script.parent. Next we'll have our function, and this we'll just call local function on part touched. Now the touched event automatically passes in one parameter, and this is the part or object, which will be a part that it touched. So I usually call this hit because it's what hit the part. So we can, if we just print out hit, and then we connect this to our touch event, or connect this to our parts touch event, so part.touched connect on part touched without the parentheses. If we go ahead and we play this, see nothing in the output right now, but if we go and step on this, you see we get right foot, left foot, right upper leg, left lower leg, left upper leg, and stuff like that. And you see this fired so many times for just stepping on it one time, and that's where this debounce comes in. So what you want to do is say like if not debounce, then, and we can print hit. Otherwise, what we want to do is we want to wait, let's wait cooldown, which we'll make up here. We'll say local cooldown is equal to, let's just do 1 second. So it'll wait this 1 second, and then we want to set debounce equal to false. And here after we print hit, we want to set debounce equal to true. So now if we test this, what you should see happening is we walk over it and only one thing gets printed once. So our debounce, you think of it, it's just a cooldown. Now debounces sometimes can be a little bit inaccurate, and that's why you saw one time it like actually fired twice. That's why I usually do a different method. Instead of having a cooldown and a debounce, I have like a last hit time, and this starts out being 0. And then what we can do over here is check here. We can just put end here, and we can say if last hit time minus 5, or if os.time minus 5 is greater than or equal to last hit time, then what we can do is print out hit and set our last hit time to os.time. So basically os.time gives us the current date in seconds since the Unix epoch, aka January 1st, 1970. And if we subtract 5 seconds from this, it should be, well, if 5 seconds hasn't passed, then this will actually be less than our last hit time. But if this is more than or equal to our last hit time, that means 5 seconds has passed. But we want to only wait 1 second because that was our cooldown. So I guess we can technically put our cooldown back here. Cooldown equals 1 and os.time minus cooldown. And now if we go ahead and test this, this should work much better. And as you see, it does. Now we can always play around with the cooldown. I'll put it to 0.5 since this is much more accurate anyways. Alright, now another important thing to notice is you see it prints out right foot and not like our character or something. So to get the character, let's make a variable up here, and we'll do local char is equal to hit.parent. because I'll show you guys this actually. So if you look in the workspace and find your character, you see all these parts are inside of your character. And let's say we walk onto this, you see it prints out right foot, which is this, and right foot.parent is our character. So if we print out our character as well, what we should get is like the part that hits it and our character. So your right foot and then your username, because that is what your character object is called. Now we can use this to get the player by using a method from our player service. So what we can do is local player is equal to game, or not game, because we have players, and then we just do get player from character, and we want to use our character model. But one important thing to note is that anything can trigger a touch event, not only a player. So you always want to do a if player check. Or you can use guard clauses, which we talked about in the if statement video, and we can say if not player, then return end, and we can just cancel the function. So now if whatever touches the part is not a player, this won't print and the cooldown won't be fired. Alright, so that looks good, and let's just actually do something with this now. So we probably won't need the player for this video, but if I print out actually no, it's fine. This is useful for like doing adding cash to a player's leader stats by touching a part, but we're not going to be doing that in today's video. So what we're going to do is make a kill brick and stuff, so I'm just going to do that, and we'll say instead of if not player, we'll say if not char : find first child and humanoid. Then that means it's not a character, so we can just return end. Alright, so now what we want to do is make a kill brick first. So all we have to do is char.humanoid. Since we know there's a humanoid, we can just do this. And then we want to set the health equal to 0. Now this will automatically kill the player. So if we go ahead and we touch this, boom, and we're dead. Now I remember when I first started scripting, I had so much trouble with this, and I was trying to make a part that just does a little bit of damage, right? So I would try to set this to like 50 or like 10, depending on how much damage I wanted it to do. But what you'll notice is it sets your health to 10, but it doesn't go any lower because you're just setting it to 10. Now what you have to do is you can either minus equals 10, or you can use a method called humanoid : take damage, and we can take 10 damage, or whatever number of damage you want. And as you see now, we take a little bit of damage every time we walk along the part. And also, one thing to note is if we didn't have the debounce as well, this would probably kill us pretty much instantly. So let's try that real quick. If we comment this out and we comment this out, then what we should see is that we die pretty quickly. Or we almost die. If we change this value of damage up to, let's say, 20, then we're probably gonna die just by walking across. Yep, and that's because this touch event gets fired so many times while we're walking across the part, and that's the reason for the debounce, or our cooldown version of a debounce at least. This is, in my opinion, the most accurate way. Alright, so that's how you make a kill and damage brick. Now, something I want to also show you is how you can make like a little jump pad type thing. So I just want to go ahead and play the game real quick. And if you see, go to your character and your humanoid. You see we have a few things, and we just want to talk about a few. The first one is jump power. It's automatically 50. And you can also see that this thing is jump right here. If we set that to true with a script, it'll actually make the player jump. So now that we know this, we can use this to make like a jump pad. So basically when we step on this, what we want to do is set the jump power to like 200 or something. Set jump to true, and then set jump power back to 50. So let's do that right now. So if we go here, we could say humanoid, or let's make a variable for humanoid. Humanoid is equal to char.humanoid. We'll say humanoid dot jump power is equal to, and we'll say 250, and then we'll do humanoid dot jump is equal to true, and then humanoid.jump power is equal to 50, which is the default value. So now if we go ahead and do this, when we step on the part, we should launch into the air. And as you see, we did, but we don't really go very high. Also, what I want to do is make this part just bigger. Not like that though. Here. And like that. Alright, so now let's actually set this to like 500. Should make us go a little higher. And as you see, we go a little high. Not talking to Siri though. Don't know why that came up. We don't go very high. If we set this to like 2,000, I don't even know if you're allowed to set it that high. But alright, as you see, I think what's actually going wrong here is we have to put like a task.wait of 0.1 seconds right there. Alright, yeah, that was the problem. So basically, we're basically setting the jump power back to 50 a little too quickly. So now if we set this back to 250, I feel like that'll be a pretty decent height. Still pretty high, but you know, you get the point. And we should also put this like at the very top. Alright, or just under the if state. Alright, well that is the touch event in Roblox, guys, and there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this, and this is one of the more useful events that you'll be using a lot of times in your scripts. Now, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video and this helped you out, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next video. Other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.